Now to analyze the lack of analysis going on in the halls of academia, Frank Conniff, one of the stars of cinematic Titanic. Frank, thanks for some of your time tonight.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
I will ask you this question, first posed by one astute and famous Yale graduate. Is our children learning?
That's very hard to say. I'll just put a positive spin on it if I could.
Yeah, that's okay.
I live and work in Hollywood, and we depend on the low standards of young people to fuel our economy. So this isn't all bad news completely. And I think the deepest philosophical question that a lot of the kids today are asking is, what would Snooki do?
Yeah, well, she wrote a book, or at least put her name on a book, or at least has handled a book after it was published for her. There's at least something in Snooki.
I wanted to raise the level of this conversation by bringing a novelist into it. So thank you.
Excellent. That or Mailer, he couldn't decide which one. 7% of students' time was spent actually studying. The majority of the week was either partying or sleeping, and they got GPAs, and their average GPA was 3.2. How in the hell does that work? I feel ripped off somehow.
I know. This is kind of a golden age of slacking that we missed out on. And just to be positive again, I will say that if they're socializing and partying 85% of the time, that means they're only hungover 15% of the time. So that's something hopeful.
If one can graduate without being able to separate fact from fiction, which is an extraordinary thought, is it possible that the sociologists who did this study studied not college students, but in fact were looking at viewers of Fox News?
Well, yeah, I mean, Fox News is kind of the ultimate mecca for a lot of these kids, I'm sure. It's a fantasy land where you get paid a lot of money and you never have to do homework. So it's pretty great. Although I did hear that Fox is trying to raise its intelligence level a bit. They just hired as a new host of Fox and Friends a bag of rocks. So that should raise the level of discourse. Although Steve Doocy is a little intimidated because he is dumber than it.
Yes. His name is Doocy, but I can understand. It's just a little something in your teeth there. There was a conservative blog, American Thinker. The title is not intentionally ironic. That published this study or referred to it as proof of academic brainwashing, and they said noting the lack of critical thinking skills is, quote, the reason college kids go gaga over Obama. How would they explain then the Tea Party or, in fact, Lady Gaga?
Well, the Tea Party doesn't so much evoke college as it does a really bad shop class where all the projects are done really poorly. And I think a lot of these conservative attitudes about colleges in general, I mean, they don't just think that Harvard and Yale are elite. They think the DeVry Training Institute is elite. So, you know, it's an uphill battle for any kind of education, I guess.
Well, and to that point, is there some expectation here that former Governor Palin will interpret these stats as some sort of vindication? You know, the fancy book learning doesn't pay off, and you might as well go to 5 different colleges because you get 5 different T-shirts that way?
Well, first of all, any kind of book learning is fancy book learning, as far as she's concerned. But I think we should also point out that that Palin is an example of that. It's not just enough to be dumb to make it on the national political stage. You also have to be a resentful crybaby and a narcissist. And if any of these kids knew what narcissist meant, that might mean something, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think there was a course on that in one of those colleges. The comedian Frank Conniff from Cinematic Titanic. Always a pleasure, Frank. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's January 19th, 44 days since the Republicans got the deal for taxes for the rich. Mr. Boehner, where are the jobs? I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck. And now to discuss